We're here in Parkersburg, West Virginia, Wood County. It is Sunday, July the 3rd, and we're going to show you around town. I spent the night here last night at the Sleep Inn and Suites and found it to be a very nice hotel. Here's the Department of the Treasury, Bureau of the Fiscal Service. Oh, that's very nice back here. We're just going to take a look at the community. Nice little plaza here, very well kept up. And I want to see this mural over here. Just look how beautiful everything is. I also want to see the courthouse from a distance. Got the beautiful bridge back there in the background. Not sure if you can see it. And sign for Ravenswood to the south. And just look at that courthouse, guys. That is a beautiful courthouse. You might even be able to look at it from a little bit farther away. There's the highway there. That might even be a bridge. No, that's probably the bridge. But just gotta look at that courthouse. Tell me that that is not a thing of beauty. I mean, I can't even get it in the full frame. It's absolutely humongous. It's beautiful. That tower is just gorgeous. Over here is the W.H. Smith Hardware Company building. Got a GMC dealership over here. Wholesale since 1874. Oil and gas museum. That's some cool stuff right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, I love the trees, I love how everything is so clean and orderly. I love these signs. Creating West Virginia, Parkersburg's wartime politicians, Congressman Peter G. Van Winkle, Governor Arthur Borman, Governor William E. Stevenson. Beeson Blair, born in Parkersburg on April 11, 1821. Blair was an attorney before the Civil War. Elected in 1861 to fill a vacancy in the U.S. House of Representatives, he served until 1865 and was a staunch supporter of the Union and West Virginia statehood. Guys, remember the history of West Virginia. Why did West Virginia become a state? Because this was the pro-Union side of Virginia. And Virginia wasn't any old state in the Confederacy. Virginia was the first capital and arguably one of the most important states of the Confederacy. So we are standing on hallowed Union ground. On New Year's Day, 1863, eager to know if Lincoln had signed the statehood bill, he entered the White House by a window. Blair died in 1901. Now, if that is not consistency and determination, I don't know what is. The guy went into the White House through a window. So, Jacob Beeson Blair, wow. That's a beautiful hotel right there. The Blenner Hassett Hotel. And if I mispronounce it, guys, please correct me, guys. Always know that sightsoundsflavors.com, exploringkentucky.com is about learning. And sometimes the only way that you learn is when folks that know teach those that don't know. So don't be afraid to leave a comment, please. I'm inviting you to do so. That's beautiful right there. Greetings from Parkersburg. Hashtag downtown PKB. And that's the other thing. When in Rome, you do like the Romans, right? Am I right? Well, in Parkersburg, PKB, that's the initials for Parkersburg. In Pittsburgh, it's PGH. So if you're not from here, And you hear those initials, might not make much sense to you, but that's what it is. WVU, I'm assuming, is Western Virginia University, or West Virginia University, excuse me. The state is West Virginia. See a lot of West Bancos. Saw quite a few in Wheeling last night. And then got a Jimmy John's over there. Cool attorney's office there. Love the buildings. I'm gonna probably go down over here, then maybe cross that way. Got plenty of time. From here, I'm headed, look at that over there, isn't that beautiful? From here, I'm headed to Charleston, West Virginia. Maybe some small towns in between. And then, from there, got a Huntington Bank here. I love this green. From there, I'm going to be going to Ashland, Kentucky. And I'm debating whether to go Ashland, Maysville, or Ashland, Moorhead. There's a lot of ground to cover, and it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. It's about enjoying what I'm seeing and documenting it. And hopefully you're going to subscribe, like, and comment, because that is, after all, how we grow the page. ExploringKentucky.com is built. You just gotta put up the content, but it's built. The website's there. Sightsoundsflavors.com is being built as we speak, and it's important to visit the websites as well, because then you can see everything, including articles and reviews. Now, the reason I'm gonna stop here is because that sun is pretty strong, but what I may do is cross the street and see what that building is. And so far I have not seen any law enforcement, which I would like to see. I always like when there's law enforcement around me. Got the Parkersburg National Bank. I love this sort of gold look. And the reason that, oh, look at that, isn't that beautiful? How could I not come closer? How could I not? What is this here? This is St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church. They've got Saturday vigil, 5 p.m., Sunday 10:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. worship. Weekdays, Monday and Friday, 12 and 10 p.m. They've got a lot of services. That's great. The reason that I like law enforcement around me isn't so much that I need to be protected, but it gives me an idea as a guest in a community how often law enforcement polices. And I got to tell you something, although I have not seen much of a police presence in downtown, I did see some units outside of downtown for a traffic stop. So they are out there, and that's important because, like I said, streets being this orderly, this clean, you know what I mean? No graffiti, no broken like windows and doors, you know, no criminal elements like underneath, you know, the overpasses and railroads and all that. That is because of the strong presence of law enforcement. I think there's like one little plastic bag over there, but besides that, okay, there's one paper thing there and one plastic bag there, and that's going all the way, 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 all the way. So that doesn't just happen, guys. That's the product of community policing, residents that care, everybody working together. Teamwork makes the dream work. Am I right? Of course I am. I'm gonna zoom down that way. Sorry for your eyes, guys. I know that some people are like, why do you do that? Well, it's just to give you an idea of everything I see here in PKB, Parkersburg, Wood County, West Virginia. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed my tour here of PKB. It looks like this is the newspaper. The Parkersburg News and Sentinel. It looks to be sold out, which is good. It's $1 daily. The Louisville Courier-Journal is, I think, $3.50. I nearly died when I saw it the other day. I bought it still. And then $2 Saturdays and Sundays. All right, and that's the St. Francis Xavier Parish Center. Okay, this makes sense. So the church is there, and the parish center is there. Very cool. Good morning. How are you?
How are you?
Good. Happy early 4th of July.
You too.
Thank you. So, I love this as well. That's really cool. I mean, you got to figure, you got to have a lot of strength to hold up whatever goes up there, which I'm thinking is a train. Check this out, WOUX-FM 105.3, the Catholic voice of the Mid-Ohio Valley. So, I mean, this church has got it really going on. They got their own radio station, and they're just, I would say they're killing it in popular vernacular, but we're talking about a church, so they're blessed in it, I guess you would say. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look at that. See, that's why it's important to walk in the other direction, because that's a beautiful building, and would not have seen it had I not backtracked. And there's the church again. And you guys know with sightsoundsflavors.com, exploringkentucky.com, even though we're in West Virginia, but you know what I'm saying, I'm all about the churches, the courthouses, the post offices. They have just remarkable curbside appeal. A lot of hotels, like the hotel we just saw here some moments ago here in PKB, Parkersburg. You see how I'm inserting PKB numerous times in the video, because that is what the locals in Parkersburg like to call their city. And so it's part of the tour, part of my walk in Parkersburg, to acclimate you to the PKB culture. I see some folks walking up, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang a left and get into this little plaza here, which looks really cool. And you guys know how I am about plazas. I like where the community can come and sit down. Now there's no benches, so you're going to be like, well, where do you sit? Well, right there. Right there. And this is the Douglas Adams Memorial Plaza, dedicated to the memory of Douglas Adams, past president of the Parkersburg National Bank. The National Bank is right over there. So that's awesome. Let's read the quote. If a man's measure is to leave this world a better place for having been here, Douglas Adams achieved this goal. Parkersburg Sentinel, 1974. Well, he sounds like he was a great man. Got a nice office building over here. Again, guys, everything is very well kept up. And that's actually a feather. That's a beautiful building right there as well. Absolutely beautiful. And over yonder, there's some more buildings, some nice buildings as well. And you can see just the changes in elevation. And you've got just like the very strong sort of brick building there. Very, very sturdy. And you can see some definite age marks on these buildings, but you want to preserve that. You don't want to paint over it, you don't want to beautify it, because the age marks are part of its history. You know, now there's a little graffiti over there, shame on them for doing that, but that's okay. Some people would argue that graffiti is also part of culture, but I would probably argue against that. But there's one there and there's one there. But again, art is in the eye of the beholder. To me, that's vandalism. But again, artists might refute that. That might be something interesting to leave in the comments as well, what your thoughts are on graffiti or street art. To me, it's vandalism, no matter how beautiful it is. Now, there are situations where, here's another little tally, where private businesses will commission a street artist or graffiti artist to come and put up something like a mural or something like that, and that's different. And that does happen, especially, you know, in bigger cities where possibly graffiti was at one point in time a major problem, like New York City and Philly and places like that, where in New York City, although politically I don't agree totally with his approach, Rudy Giuliani's broken window policy arguably may have trampled on some civil rights, but he transformed New York from a graffiti covered cesspool of crime and despair into what it is now. And some will argue, well, what it is now is a, you know, Disney, Coca-Cola, Nike sort of mall, and it's lost its edginess and its grittiness. And just like I said, you can argue back and forth all of these topics, but you know, he did transform the city. And so, going back to my original point, there are private businesses in New York that maybe miss that edginess and that grittiness, and they may commission a street artist to come in and perform that service for them. But that's because they have elected to have that service. It's not, you know, some miscreant coming by. I'm sorry to use that term. It's a pretty rough term. I mean, that's a pretty hostile term, but that's how I feel about graffiti. I mean, some miscreant comes and, you know, throws their art, if you will, on private property, and the property owner has to just take it. That's not, to me, that's not just or appropriate. But again, is street art vandalism, or is it art? Are they enriching the property, or are they deteriorating it? I mean, it's really a great topic for discussion, and I invite you to please share your opinion without fear of any reprisal or even criticism from me. I want you to share your opinion at Sight Sounds Flavors YouTube page, YouTube channel, and blogs, and so on and so forth. So I hope you enjoyed. We're gonna sign you off here with this beautiful mural here in Parkersburg, PKB, Wood County, West Virginia.